Welcome back to episode 2 of the XPOZED Podcast.
What's up,
ladies
guys?
and gentlemen? This is BurnZ,
fightinirish,
and we got some different topics for today.
We're gonna go down the Battle Royale games, H1, PUBG, and Fortnite. And
We're gonna talk about arguably the most OG game of all time in RuneScape.
It's definitely the most OG game. It's probably the first online game I've ever played in my life. So
and then to end the night, me and my man Steve are about to get in some heated arguments.
Yeah, what we wanted to do with this podcast is we also wanted to have like a fantasy football type of talk. So we're gonna get into that a little bit at the end. We're gonna do our favorite teams, best player in each position, and then the best quarterbacks of all time, and that's where it's going to get really heated between the two of us, hands down.
Yeah, the top 3 argument. Actually, it's going to be pretty interesting, because I think you already know my one, but I don't know the rest of our 3, so...
It'll be interesting.
But I guess to just get into it, we got... So the Battle Royale, you got, obviously, Fortnite is... I would argue not even the biggest game currently, but I think it may be the biggest video game blow up of all time.
The hype is real. It's definitely, but I mean, H1Z1 was huge when it first came out. Battlegrounds was huge then afterwards, and now Fortnite's just the next one that came out. If you have another Battle Royale game come out in say the next few months, who's to say that's not going to blow up?
I think the thing that separates Fortnite from the other games is the amount of celebrity attraction and just mainstream it brings to everything. That's something that you didn't have specifically. Definitely didn't have that with H1. PUBG came out and it started moving. There were a good amount of celebrities that played. I know Karl Anthony Towns played PUBG. Shout out to my Timberwolves team. So I know a lot of celebrities played PUBG. H1, I
don't think anyone really played. Like,
I mean, H1 was again. I think
but
H1
that put it on the map. H1 put Battle Royale on the map. We owe all our gratitude to H1Z1, King of the Kill.
Exactly. I think H1 really blew up Twitch, in my opinion. I noticed
so many streamers.
Everyone was streaming. I remember I used to watch like Big T in particular. I used to watch his stuff a lot, and I used to love watching Nadeshot when he would stream H1.
Shout out to Big T and Nadeshot, man. I used to love watching Big T's videos on YouTube about H1. Oh, yeah, dude, it was so great.
He's entertaining.
Oh, Big T's the GOAT.
But I guess to get into it, we had like 5 or 6 of us that always played H1.
There's always a battle to get like in that 4 rotation.
Oh yeah, no, it was a
definitely
blast.
A battle.
So I ended up getting a new computer because I couldn't run H1.
And that's the exact reason I got a new computer was for H1.
Yeah, H1's literally the reason we got new. I mean, I needed a new one anyway, but H1 was literally the reason we got it. And H1, it was fun. I mean, that was like you said, it was the first real mainstream battle royale that kind of came out and blew up, and kind of added to the gaming circuit.
Yeah, we don't have PUBG or Fortnite if H1 didn't do that thing. Yeah, and let me be clear. I bought my new computer for the survival mode of H1Z1. That is why I bought my computer. King of the Kill is like a bonus to me, and I discovered that it was something I enjoyed playing beyond any other game I've ever played at the time. But I did buy my computer just for the survival of H1, which was really good.
Yeah, I never got to play the survival. For like people that know the simple stuff of computers, I originally was playing H1Z1 on a GeForce GT 520. I was getting about 20 FPS with minimum graphics if I was lucky, and it was just lagging. And then I got my new computer and everything changed. We put so many hours into H1Z1. We would play every day, have our full squads.
Multiple games per night. It wasn't even like a few. We were up till 2-3 in the morning playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, H1Z1 it was the beginning of it. You have, I think, between the 3 games also, I think getting a win in H1 just seems so much more satisfying. Like, I mean, not to sound obviously cocky or anything, but when we all squad up, like Fortnite wins if I play like a whole day, not a whole day, but if I play 8 hours of Fortnite, I'm getting at least like 10 wins for the day.
It's a lot easier to win in Fortnite than it was to win in H1, I feel. H1 took a lot more, I don't want to say strategy, because I think the most strategic game was definitely Battlegrounds. But H1 definitely had a sense of actually using strategy. Fortnite is, you're going to run and gun, and you're going to build. And whoever's the better builder is going to win the battle.
Yeah, I always said when people get into not necessarily arguments, but when I'm talking to people about the battle royales, I always say you have H1 is pretty much just balls to the wall. I mean, you're getting your Jeep, jumping out, and just spraying, praying, and shooting people. You have PUBG, which is much slower, much more tactical. You're not just rushing in at people. And then you have Fortnite, which is a mixture of both, which I think helped make Fortnite so big. Exactly, you combined all of it. The problem with H1 is that they had no competition, so they stopped caring. They stopped giving updates. They stopped listening to what the community wanted, and the game just kind of fell off once PUBG came out, because the developers in PUBG actually listened to everyone in the community and made the changes that they needed, along with, obviously, as you know, Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite, you're getting constant weekly updates.
It's insane how much they care. Epic Games is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Exactly, man. I mean, you know, they literally change it every week, and I don't know about you. I imagine you feel the same way. The issue with H1 and PUBG, you're playing those maps, they're the same exact thing every time. When you go on Fortnite, even just simple updates, they add a new, especially seasons. The whole map feels different. They add a lot of new stuff. The new guns make it feel better, and everything in Fortnite is different. There's no game that's the same.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously, you know, in H1 and PUBG, it's, you know, the same towns, the same structures, and that's the same with Fortnite in like the current season. However, in that town, you may have a build-off, and it changes the entire aspect of the entire town. So regardless of that alone, just the building changes and makes each game unique and individual, and like not get old. It's always something new.
Exactly, and we've been playing for a while. I don't know about you. I mean, you can speak on it too. I think, for me personally, I don't know if it is true. I don't know how the circles end. It just seems like in Fortnite, the circle endings are much more different than in the other games. I feel like when we play Fortnite and we have constant back-to-back games, the circles are always different for us.
It's so random. I mean, you could always predict the circle. You could somewhat predict the circle in Battlegrounds. If it, you know, constantly going to the northeast, you have a good chance that it's actually going to end up in the northeast.
And H1, you could literally, after the first circle, you pretty much knew exactly where it was going.
Yep, it is. It's so predictable. But Fortnite, I mean, now even with Season 5, that final circle, sometimes the last circle is in the, you know, the storm. And now you have to like move with the storm. It just brings a whole new, unique aspect of that final circle, and they keep it fun. I mean, that's why the game is doing so well. It's constantly fresh, constantly new.
And I know you weren't insanely big on. I mean, you enjoyed PUBG, but that wasn't as big for you. You didn't play as much. I actually ended up getting more hours in PUBG than I did in H1. H1 we played a lot. But then PUBG, I'm much more of a tactical player, and I really love the tactical aspect of games and just game predicting and things like that. So I played with our buddy who we talked about in the first podcast, FaZe. Me and him still play together. We used to play a lot of PUBG together. We would do all the time, especially in the summer when we were at it. We didn't have classes or school or anything. We would just play all night long, and that was a good time. But I mean, Fortnite might have my heart. Even when I don't feel like playing, I still enjoy playing.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, me and you is very similar in that play style where I like the slow, that slow stealth strategic type of play. My issue with Battleground, which is probably my least favorite of the Battle Royale, that was definitely my least skilled game, hands down. I'm trash at Battlegrounds, and I could hold my own in H1, and I definitely can hold my own in Fortnite, but Battlegrounds I just never was able to pick up and actually compete. I think that's why I didn't like it as much. The whole play style though I enjoyed more than H1, but the game overall, H1 trumps it just because I was better at it.
Yeah, I think of the games, I think I was better at PUBG than I was H1. I think because it's more skill based in my opinion. I feel like H1 a lot of the fighting was a lot of luck. PUBG was. I mean, when I was playing a lot with FaZe, I had a high KD. I haven't played. Well, first of all, I don't play computer nearly as much as I do PlayStation now, so I am falling off in that aspect. I'm not as good on PC as I was on PS4 now, which is ironic because I used to be trash on PS4 gun games.
Mm-hmm. It all changed.
Which I'm excited for. On a side note, for the new COD when it comes out, because I've been playing pure PS4 sticks, man. I'm not gonna have any rust going into this, and we're gonna just hop right into it.
Black Ops 4 looks so good. I've been watching gameplay videos of some of the big YouTubers playing. Black Ops 4 looks so good.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks so good.
Getting back on this, so if you had it, what would your ranking be if you're from favorite to least favorite of the battlegrounds, and why?
Oh, Fortnite #1, easily, just because I'm the that's my best of the Battle Royale. It's the most fun. I think it's more fun than our H1 days. I like the cartoony style of Fortnite, to be honest with you. And second would be H1, and then third, Battlegrounds.
I would definitely say Fortnite is up there, and I think even though I'm getting tired of the game, I'd still put the Fortnite as one of my favorite games. I think of how much it really expanded the gaming community as a whole. I think finally Fortnite blew up and people see gaming as a real thing, and it's not just kids playing video games. This is legit. People are making huge amount of money off obviously streaming, and a lot of people just making it off of tournaments in general. And Fortnite, I mean, I think that's my most dominant of the games. I'd probably say PUBG is my second, when I used to play them both a lot, just because it was fun when me and FaZe used to play together. And then I would have H1. It's not that I didn't like H1. I just think as a game in general, H1 is the most unpolished currently.
It's choppy. They didn't optimize that correctly. They could have done so much more with H1, and they just didn't. And I mean, it's not like we've even played recently where we could see how what they changed, because I know they've gone through a lot of changes on H1, but we just don't play anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time when we went through it, but I mean, like you said, they just didn't optimize it correctly. They kind of, I think, gave up because no one was really pushing them, and then as soon as PUBG came out, H1 pretty much died. Pretty much. I mean, you still had the community. I know we played a good bit of H1 when PUBG came out, but I think
when PUBG first came out, PUBG was worse than H1. You couldn't even run PUBG. I mean, even with a good computer, you were choppy as anything.
I was good with my computer.
It was still tough to run.
I was in about 100. I was getting 100 plus FPS on Ultra.
It was tough. My computer definitely struggled a little bit when Battlegrounds first came out, until they optimized it and everything. But it was tough on it.
Yeah, it runs smooth. The one thing that I do love much more, I have been played Battlegrounds. I have been playing it a little bit more recently. Versus Fortnite is when first of all, again, the biggest part of, I think, the game that also separated PUBG from H1 was rezzing people, which is in PUBG, when you resurrect someone, they instantly are up. There's no them crawling back up delay. It's just instantly back into it. In Fortnite, when you get res, there's a second, almost a second it's about a second delay where you can't move or anything while you're getting res. And I wish you could just go right into playing instead of having to go through that.
Well, H1, there was no res.
That's what I'm saying.
Your teammate died, and they were done. It was an insta-kill.
Yeah, that was, and then we went to PUBG, and we, there's knocks and stuff. And then, so PUBG, when you get knocked, if you get knocked multiple times, your health starts going down super fast, after the first time, versus Fortnite's the same amount, no matter what.
It doesn't matter how many times you go down.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think Fortnite's here to stay for a good bit. How long that good bit is depends all on what new games come out.
Listen, I think when Black Ops 4 comes out, Fortnite's going to take a hit in the community.
I think it's going to take a pretty big hit. I don't think people are going to realize how big of a hit Black Ops 4 is going to do to it.
I think it's going to be Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2 that's going to pull people from Fortnite. because those are two of the most anticipated games right now that are coming out. I know for a fact I can't wait for Red Dead Redemption 2. I played the first one. It was honestly one of the best games I've ever played in my life. And now that they're making Red Dead Redemption 2 with the online GTA, you're gonna have Wild West GTA. It's gonna be insane. I cannot wait to play that online.
Getting kind of into off topic with the games, but yeah, two other games that I not necessarily would take a hit, but obviously I already talked in the first one, Kingdom Hearts 3. When it comes out, it's gonna be awesome. And dude, I'm pretty excited for Spider-Man. And I usually don't like single player games, but I think Spider-Man is gonna be the new Spider-Man is gonna be a sick game.
Spider-Man looks insane. I watched a lot of gameplay of that too. I love the whole open world thing. It looks so beautiful, that game. And I think they're doing a great job developing it.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna, and Black Ops 4 again I think it's gonna take a pretty decent portion of the community definitely at first.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a good game and COD sticks with it, I think the competitive scene in COD can definitely come back stronger than ever. Actually, I've been watching a lot of. I'm not even a huge fan of World War II, but I have been watching a lot of the playoffs in the World War II, and it's getting me very excited for the new COD.
I just can't wait to play competitive COD again. I really am excited to see the Battle Royale for COD 2. If they get that right, oh my god, it's gonna be insane. Yeah, I think I'll have more fun playing Battle Royale COD than Fortnite, just because of my love for the game. But if they have to get that right, if they mess that up, I feel like the game as a whole will be affected if they don't get the Battle Royale correctly. I know a lot of people are getting COD just for the Battle Royale and not for anything else.
Yeah, I think the Battle Royale portion. I mean, again, I can't remember the last single player COD I played, so it's not an issue to me. But I'm sure a lot of people are bummed that they aren't going to be able to do that as soon as they get the game. Also,
yeah,
we're gonna have a blast in that.
No,
but yeah,
I can't wait.
I mean, yeah. As for Battle Royale games, those are your. Those are obviously there's more, and there were more before H1, but in my opinion, I think H1's the one that kind of started it. Then you had PUBG, which PUBG is actually making a pretty decent comeback. You have Realm Royale, which I haven't played, so I can't really speak on too much.
I've watched a few videos of that. It doesn't look. It kind of looks like a medieval Fortnite.
Yeah, I didn't want to play it on PC, and I think it may actually have just came out on PS4. I know it's been coming out recently. And then obviously you have the king of gaming currently. That isn't even a question. The most popular game by far is Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Which is obviously here.
I just want to say, when we were playing Battlegrounds a lot, it wasn't just, BurnZ and FaZe. But as a gaming community as we were as Exposed Gaming, a lot of us played Battlegrounds together. We had a decent sized group who actually played. I recommended playing Fortnite back in season 1 of Fortnite, and then I was just shunned from the group. No one even wanted. Everyone dissed it. Everyone was so down on it, and they were ridiculing me for just even suggesting Fortnite. And now look at it. Everyone's playing Fortnite. We could have been playing since season 1. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we could have definitely been playing for a while in that game, but I'm glad I'm with Fortnite now, and it's a good game. Like I said, we have COD coming out in 2 months, so we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
But moving on from some Battle Royale games, we got
RuneScape,
arguably the most OG game of all time. I think every kid had to have at least known what RuneScape was, even back in the day, whether or not they played it.
Hands down. If you didn't know what RuneScape was, you were living under a rock.
There's people that have never even played RuneScape, and they know who Zezima is.
Yeah. Well, Zezima, hands down, always will be the greatest RuneScape. I don't care who is number one at the moment. Zezima will always be the best RuneScape player to ever live.
Yeah, I mean, Zezima was RuneScape, regardless. Yeah, like you said, whoever's number one, it doesn't matter. I couldn't tell you who the number one player is right now, but I can tell you Zezima.
Yep, I can literally tell you Zezima.
So what was as for RuneScape, what do you think out of and again, me and fightinirish have played RuneScape since it came out. So we've been playing it for a while. Wow. We played in the OG old school, Then we played once it came into RS3.
Mm-hmm.
A little more old school fans.
Oh, hands down, definitely more on old school. If I could just stay in 2006, 2007, before the Grand Exchange, yeah. The Grand Exchange ruined the economy. I'm just saying that right now. It totally killed the economy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time, but
I miss having to spam selling 1K raw lobsters, 200K, like, and I had to do like
and then
wave 2 and like scroll, so like it would wave and scroll at the same time to get my chat to be noticed. Like, you don't see anyone type like that anymore in the game.
And not even that, but just trying to. I remember when World 2 was just the go-to trade spot.
Yep.
People, that was
Varrock
always
West Bank.
full. Yep, it was you were so lucky to get into it. You had that, and you had the Falador Park, where everyone was. And if you got into World 2, it was like the best feeling ever. But it was so hard to get in.
And for members, there's World 1 for members, right? I think World 2 was free, but World 1 was members. I think
World
that's
2
how
was
it
members.
World 2 was members?
I'm pretty sure World 2 was members, yeah. So what was your most memorable moment? I have 2, which I'll speak on after you go.
Most memorable moment. I have so many that I will never forget.
You got limited to
it's
2.
So tough. You go first. Let me think about this one for a second.
All right. So these would probably be my 2. The first one, I think, which is like a moment I'll always remember, and I don't know why. So it was like right when I first got my membership. Which back in I was like a young kid, and that was so lit getting my first, like, finally when I got my membership. The very first thing I did, teleported to Castle Wars, ran a Castle Wars. I mean, it was like, dude, I just had a blast. Like, it was so fun doing Castle Wars, because that's back in the day when it was, like, no one does Castle Wars anymore.
Yeah.
Like, back then when I did it, I mean, those lobbies were completely
packed.
full.
It was like 30 on 30 or something like that, man.
It was a blast. I remember that, and I think the second... I don't know if it's necessarily a memorable moment, but like I remember when I was just grinding construction, and I finally like kind of decked out my house to where it was looking like pretty nice, like you could throw like parties and stuff. And I remember I had like a bunch of people come in. We were just like chilling in the boxing ring and playing like the darts and all that stuff, which that was pretty fun for me. Was the construction. I mean, there's obviously. You have your 99s. You have certain quests. I remember the time I got scammed.
Oh man,
like a dummy.
Dude, as for my memorable moment, I think I'm gonna steal yours because, yeah, getting membership for the first time probably would be the staple. I got it. I remember I got my membership and I was in Falador. And after I got membership, I went to a membership world, and I was like scared to like move into the member area, so I like for the first hour or so of having membership I stayed still in like Falador and Varrock area. And finally one of my friends at the time was like, hey, like just come with me. So he takes me into Taverley, and we go through the gates by Falador, and like I had like the biggest smile on my face because it's like a land I've never seen before. And he takes me over White Wolf Mountain to get to Catherby, and I didn't know that going over the mountain, I was going to get attacked by these wolves. And, like, I was a low level at the time, and I almost died with, like, all my shit on me. And, like, I was literally running, just spam-clicking the compass to get off this mountain. And I was so mad at my friend for not even, like, warning me. But we got to Catherby, and then he walked me from all the way there, all the way down to Castle Wars, and then, like, logged out. I was like, I gotta go. And I'm this, like, 10-year-old kid, who's never been to Castle Wars ever, didn't even know what Castle Wars was at the time. And I was like, how do I get back to, like, Varrock? And I was asking people in Catherby, like, I would pay you to, like, walk me to Varrock, and no one offered to do it. And I tried to do it on my own and died to a bear.
Died to a bear?
I died to a bear. By the, the gnomes, like, the gnomes, like, that maze, the tree maze, like, how they're having that, like, constant war in that area?
Yeah.
There was, like, a wild bear. And I was near it, and I guess I was a low enough level where he was going to auto-attack me, and he, like, 3-shot me, and I was dead, and I was so upset.
Jeez. So yeah. What was the first member skill you trained?
I think it was fletching. I loved fletching. I think the first member skill was fletching.
Because I remember when I first got into it, I did the the flax. I would do all that to get the money. That's how I was grinding money. Yeah.
Catherby and Sears Village were my two favorite towns. I would just live in those two areas when I'm in membership, especially with fishing. Catherby, oh my god.
I would probably say, I don't know. I think my not insta teleport, but like where I would usually teleport to would be Camelot.
Well, that's Sears Village. Yeah. Same thing.
You just said it was Catherby.
Oh well, I said Sears Village and Catherby were like the two. Okay. They were like literally a 3-second walk from each other.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, those were good times though, and
then eventually I kind of started just teleporting to my house because it was easier, and I had portals all in my house anyway, so it didn't matter.
I remember the first time I was ever scammed. I felt like the biggest idiot in the world. I was in Falador, and a guy came up to me and just said, "Hey, you want to see something really cool?" And I was young and naive at the point. I was like, "Yeah, let me see something really cool." And he told me to bring a spade, so I brought a spade, and we go into like the Falador garden area, and he told me to dig in a certain spot. And when I dug into the spot, I didn't have a candle on me, so it was dark, and I got killed because my screen was pitch black, and if you didn't have a candle, you got attacked. And he laughed, and I died, and I lost all my stuff because I didn't have a candle on me.
I remember mine was like the dumbest, dude. I was like, it was one of those typical ones where they were like, and I can't even believe I fell for it. I mean, I was like 8, dude. And he was like, "Oh, did you guys see Jagex blocks out your password?" And I don't even know why, man. I didn't even think about it, and I typed it, and I was just like, I was messed up. And I lost like my Gmaul then, which was kind of big back then. That was back when like the Gmaul was like, you had the Gmaul, and then the next step was only the whip. So it was like a pretty big thing. Pretty upsetting, but you learned.
Yeah, no, and you would think I would learn, but the second and last time I got scammed was, I thought a moderator was talking to me and said, "Hey, we've been watching you for a while. We want to make you a moderator." And back in the day, I wanted nothing more than to be a RuneScape moderator. Like, I would be that guy who reported people to, like, show that I was a good guy in RuneScape just so I could become a moderator, and it never happened. I was so upset. But this guy had a name, like, mod whatever, and I totally blanked it. There was no, like, Jagex crown next to him, so obviously he wasn't a real mod. But he's talking to me saying, "Hey, we've been watching you for a while," and he gave me this link to click, and I went to this link, and it looked exactly like a RuneScape like page, and I filled out the application to be a mod, and one of the questions was like, "What's your password and what's your bank pin?" And I stupidly put it in. I told him I submitted it, and after he said I submitted, he's like, "All right, log off and log back on, and you'll have the moderator icon on your name." So I log out. When I go to log back in, invalid password. And I couldn't get back in. I took a hard L. Thank God Dylan, who we talked about in the first podcast, Dylan was playing with me at the time, and the guy messaged Dylan laughing, saying, "Hey, your friend's an idiot." And then it was still back in the day with Xfire, so like I'm Xfiring Dylan, like, "Yo, help me out, get me my account back." And Dylan somehow finagled this guy to give him the password that they changed it to, and Dylan gave me the password, and I was able to change it, and I got my account back. But he wiped my entire bank, everything I had. I probably lost like a good 20 million worth of items. Yeah, I was devastated, absolutely devastated. But that was the last time I was scammed.
That is a tough life you're living.
Oh, it was bad.
So what would you say your favorite skill?
Fishing and fletching, but fishing primarily. Loved fishing. It was just something, I don't know, I could just like stare at the screen and stare at my guy fish for hours. I don't know why. Same with, not as much, I loved fletching, but there was a lot more clicking involved with fletching.
I would say Magic was my favorite. I liked PvPing.
I was more of a skiller. Way more of a skiller.
It was nice being able to teleport wherever I needed to go.
I feel that.
And I never had to worry about
walking or anything.
Exactly, and I always had runes on me at all times anyway, so there was never issues with that either.
So, what was your first 99 though?
Magic. Oh, no. No, it was fishing.
Fishing was my first 99.
Fishing was my first 99. I grinded fishing, and then I made good amount of money off fishing, and then I put all that money into just getting 99 in Magic.
You know, I did that with fishing, made a good amount of money, and then I wanted to go 99 cooking next. So all like the raw fish, I like pretty much caught. I tried just like cooking.
And cooking is the best 99 cape.
I would argue and say fire making is the best.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I meant to say.
Fire making is definitely
fire
the
making
best.
has the best. I don't know why I was thinking cooking.
That's my favorite one. It's the orange one. Yeah, the orange one with the yellow trim. If you have another 99, definitely the best emote. Well, one of the best emotes. I miss that game. I would totally still play if like you and like other people played. I just don't think I have the attention span at 25 years old to
I couldn't
continue to like grind a skill. Like there's no way in like I could start a new RuneScape account and like grind 99 fishing ever again. There's just no way I can do it. And God bless the people who can. Like I don't know what it was when I was like a younger kid, but like I would get home from school, immediately go on RuneScape and play until like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then go to sleep, go to school, and then repeat. I was straight up addicted to that game, and it was the first online game I ever played.
Yeah, I mean that was, RuneScape was probably the first like game that I really got into because that was like a little bit before Call of Duty, where I just put like a massive amount of time in.
Yeah, I played RuneScape for about 6 months. Well, I know I've been playing not 6 months total, but it was when I first started playing RuneScape. 6 months later, I started playing Call of Duty on the computer. And that's when I got into Call of Duty. And then I was just playing both of them, you know. If I wasn't playing COD, I was playing RuneScape. If I wasn't playing RuneScape, I was playing COD.
Yeah, it was literally both of those at each time that I was playing.
Yeah.
And then, I had two 99s. I had fishing, obviously, and then I had my Magic was my 99.
Yeah, I only got fishing.
I don't know if there was really a time where I kind of thought about going for another 99. I think woodcutting I was extremely close to going 99, but woodcutting just got really repetitive and boring to me.
Yeah, I had like I think I stopped with 97 woodcutting or something like that. I was really close to 99 for that.
Yeah, I was definitely 80s, possibly 90s.
I was really close to 99 fletching too. I was like 95. I would woodcut and then just fletch everything I cut. Like that's how I did things. I didn't buy material. That's why it has taken me so long, because I didn't buy anything, but. That's how I did it.
Yeah, dude, RuneScape was a classic, man. That was the OG. We haven't played it in a good bit, so it's been like been quite a while since we actually played RuneScape. But you never forget that first game. But going off of gaming, something that is.
What we're gonna try to do each week.
Yeah, so the way when I was talking to Steve about getting this, or fightinirish, whatever, to get this podcast up and running, I said obviously we talk about XPOZED, we can talk gaming, and then I said once a week, we should talk fantasy football, because me and him, we just argue about football. I love talking about football.
It's my favorite sport.
It's just fun to talk about, watch, and everything about it is enjoyable to me. So, all right, I'm gonna start it off. Who's my favorite team? Ah, man. I guess the only way to describe it would be to say the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
And
that's not him being a front runner. Like he's always been
I've been an Eagles fan for
fan.
years, getting gassed by these guys, but not anymore, man.
Yeah. So the way to say it for my favorite team, this Super Bowl was like the worst of like both scenarios for me, because dude, I hate the Patriots with a passion, because I am a die-hard, cut me open, I'll bleed green and white Jet fan, and they suck. I know they suck. You don't have to tell me they suck, because I know the Jets suck. But as much as I hate Tom Brady and the Patriots, and I didn't want to see them win another ring, I did not want to spend the next year of my life hearing BurnZ talk about his Super Bowl champions. However, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl was the better of two evils, I should say, because my hate for the Patriots definitely outweighs him talking about his Eagles.
Well, I was the people I was talking to, I was saying, like, first of all, this Super Bowl, regardless of if the teams you like, hate, whatever, this Super Bowl is an amazing Super Bowl, great Super Bowl overall. What I said to people was, these two teams in the Super Bowl, you're either a fan of or you hate. People, either you're a Patriots fan or people hate the Patriots. You like the Eagles or people hate the Eagles. So for me, it was good, obviously. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan too, so like I'm not a Patriots fan, but I love Tom Brady. So seeing him play and my team beating him, that kind of just topped it all off. So who do you think who's your favorite? Who would you say your favorite player is? If you had to pick one individual player ever.
Of like all time or currently?
Of all time.
Of all time. Wayne Corbett. I was a huge Wayne Corbett fan. But if we have to go currently... Ooh, that's tough. I do like a lot of people. I'm a big Le'Veon Bell fan. I do love Bell.
Yeah, he's a great player,
I love Bell. I do love Bell.
For me personally, this is tough because... Yeah, it's tough for me to choose. I mean, I have a lot of... I don't want to say favorite players, but I guess I do. I mean, if I was picking my favorite Eagle of all time, it would be... I'd probably go with Brian Dawkins. I love Dawkins. I love the energy he brought, and I just loved how dominant he was in his position. Currently, I'm a huge Gronk fan. I mean, who doesn't love Gronk?
I don't like Gronk.
Man. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. And I'm a huge Odell Beckham fan.
Oh my god.
I love, again, people love or hate. And
I can't stand Odell Beckham. I think he's a baby.
I don't know.
He needs to grow up.
My favorite player out of those three right now, probably Beckham. I love Beckham. Yeah. I think he's a beast, and I just love him.
He's such a headache on the team, and if you take his head out of a football game, he is absolutely useless to you. And he's proven that time after time. But if he
keeps his head in, he's dominant.
But you know how easy it is to take his head out?
Dude, he's a beast. He's gonna mature enough. As for favorite Eagles currently, that's tough. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, he's only been here for a little bit, but I love Wentz, the way he carries himself, the way he just puts everything into the sport and what he does for the team. And he's a great quarterback too overall.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I mean, speaking of quarterbacks, now we got to go
best player.
The best player at every position.
Currently of all time.
Offense. Let's do both. Let's do the best players of all time that you think. All right, well, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to talk quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and tight end. So tell me your greatest all time and your greatest as of right now in the league.
Okay. Quarterback all time. I'm gonna receive hate for this, but Montana.
All right. I mean, it's not a.
I think Montana all time is the best quarterback.
Valid argument.
Right now is Aaron Rodgers. Not even a question of doubt. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback right now.
Okay, I would say my quarterback for all time, Tom Brady. And as of best, I always go back and forth with this. I think so. Now, depending how Brady plays, obviously he's getting another year older and so on. I think Brady's the best quarterback in the league right now, but I think Rodgers is the most skilled quarterback in the league right now.
Okay, but you can't confuse accomplishment and actual talent.
But
if you have one drive, right? You have
Brady.
One drive.
That's the thing. If I have one drive to win the game,
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
He does not have times. Dude, I mean, think
Aaron Rodgers has way more of an arm and more talent than Tom Brady.
Still can't.
Tom Brady just has a team.
Win like Brady. Dude, I hate when people say that because even when Brady won his Super Bowls, it's not like he had stacked talent around him.
I'm not saying to say he's bad. He's definitely one of the best of all times. But I don't think I think people overhype him and, say he's the GOAT just because of his rings. When in reality, he should only have 2.
That's stupid because you could literally say he shouldn't have lost any of them. The 2 against the Giants were literally one play that cost it to him. And then you have the Eagles, which even though I love the Eagles, obviously there was a couple calls that could have been reversed / should have been reversed in that game, which could have given them to him. But Brady just the difference with Brady and Rodgers is that he wins. He's a great talent. Rodgers has always had talent around him on the offense, and he's gone to one Super Bowl, and that was 8 years ago. And
has it been that long?
2011, I think it was. So this season will be pushing 8 years.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, don't get me wrong, Rodgers is good, but like until he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. So obviously so is Brady, but until Rodgers can win the whole thing, I mean, and it's not even like it's not even like the NFC is more I mean, Brady was playing, think about it. When Brady was going through all those, he was going through for Peyton Manning in his prime. He's going against the Steelers with Big Ben, who I would say he's still kind of in his prime. And he just has no powerhouses. He was playing against the freaking Chargers when they had Rivers and LT in his prime. And obviously he was pushing through those Broncos when their defense was stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Rodgers, I mean, you had really the only consistent team in the last 5 years in the NFC, which they aren't even that good now anymore, was the Seahawks. And that was really his only competition that consistently through his time. But, I mean, that's just my opinion. Anyway, we can get into the argument and debate after. What about wide receiver all time and currently?
All time, I feel like it's going to be, just a typical, Jerry Rice. Best wide receiver of all time.
I would say the greatest wide receiver for me of all time would be Randy Moss.
All right, that's definitely fair.
I think Randy Moss is he's just a beast.
He was a beast. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have Rice's. I mean, you can't go wrong.
You
with
can't go.
Rice,
Yeah, you absolutely can't go wrong with either of them. I think we're gonna have the same. Actually, you know what? We may actually have a similar, different.
We're gonna have the same. I already know what you're gonna say.
Current best wide receivers, hands down, no question about it. Antonio Brown.
I would put him up there. I think the only reason I'd be hesitant to argue him is I would honestly put two different guys up there. One, my man Beckham. I mean, he's playing with a mediocre, but he's playing with Eli Manning. Versus, I mean, Antonio Brown without Big Ben he's just nothing without Big Ben. So I just want to see, obviously Brown's going to outplay Big Ben, so I want to see how he plays post Ben, especially if they don't have Bell, because having Bell on the field opens up so much opportunity for Brown, and Brown is an absolute beast.
He's unreal.
I personally think Beckham's up there. Another guy who talent-wise and skill level is insane that gets very overlooked is DeAndre Hopkins. That dude is a beast. He is a straight beast.
I thought you were going to say Larry Fitz, man. That guy in his career has dropped... Career, though, has dropped
like 11 passes. Yeah, it's like something stupid.
He just catches everything. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, right now, no. I mean, he's up there, though, as one of the best.
One of the best, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I would say Brown's probably going to be most people's best in the league. But, I mean, I think I have Beckham up there, too, like I said. And I
can respect that.
I think the thing that I love about Hopkins is his quarterback situations are just always garbage, and he just constantly puts out. Versus, again, you have... I mean, I think Big Ben's going to go down as, like, top 20, at least, of all-time quarterbacks. So Brown's always had a great quarterback in his back. But, yeah. I mean, all right, so going to running
backs. Again, I'm a little biased with this one. However, you can't argue Barry Sanders is one of the best running backs of all time. But I'm also very biased with Curtis Martin as the Jet fan I am. But Barry Sanders, probably all-time best. Current, we're going to have the same. Le'Veon Bell, hands down, best running back in the league right now.
So we're not going to have the same.
Well,
who'd you say of all time?
Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah. I would say Barry Sanders for all time. Although, honestly...
But I do love Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin was phenomenal.
OJ was nasty, too.
OJ, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great running backs of all time as well.
Currently in the league, if I had to pick one running back to pick on my team, I'm taking Zeke.
Yep,
yes, I would take Zeke. I think Zeke is a monster, and
yeah, but Bell can hit you as a wide receiver, which like Zeke really doesn't do as much. If Zeke gets a pass, like a short little screen.
The thing is, he's not like I don't really necessarily think he needs to. B, he's not a liability as a receiver. Like he can play.
But that's what makes Bell so good. Because Bell will hit you hard as a run, but then if it's like a fake handoff and he goes into a pass, you have to then you're trying to cover Bell, and Bell is as fast and as talented as an actual wide receiver.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Bell. I think he's a great player. I just think right now, I think Zeke's gonna be, if he plays a full 16-game season, Zeke is definitely gonna be the rushing leader.
You think?
And yeah, I think he has
the
potential to break
as good
the
as
record.
It was.
He's still a beast, man, and he's gonna. I mean, you saw the Cowboys without him. They're gonna run. Football is gonna run through Zeke.
The Dallas Cowboys without Zeke are terrible.
They
need Zeke.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got the Cowboys. Like Zeke's just gonna run the rock. He's coming off of a suspension he just had. He's gonna be hungry. He's gonna put up monster numbers, man. That's why I think Zeke's gonna go off. Again, Bell. I'm not even gonna argue. I think Bell is a beast. I would have Bell there next. And the only other running back right now that I think I would put in the conversation would be Todd Gurley. I think Gurley's a beast.
Gurley's a beast. He is a monster.
Like him and Zeke just don't have enough
David
under their belt.
Johnson's really good too, but I mean, coming off an injury like that,
with the Cardinals aren't very good.
Yeah.
But. And I think, in my opinion, I mean, I'd have to look stat wise, but I think David Johnson was extremely. I don't want to say he was a beast, but he also had a ton of volume.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what. That's kind of what. I mean, I guess all the running backs do, but David Johnson, like the amount of plays that ran through him in that offense was insane. For the next one, for the last one, for tight end, I'm gonna have the same for both. I'm gonna have the same for all time, and I'm putting Gronk,
Gronk
as the greatest of all time, and right now.
I knew we were gonna agree with that one. Gronk, all time best and all time greatest right now.
And people will be like, "Oh, what about Gonzalez? He was good, but I don't think no one's ever been as dominant as Gronk. Yeah, Gronk. It's not even close.
How do you cover him?
You can't.
You just can't. Gronk is the best tight end of all time.
He is an absolute machine, and it's not even like actually fair having him on your team. And I mean, again, he has a lot of injuries, but his numbers, even with those injuries, is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say you have Travis Kelce. In tight ends, you have literally Gronk is on his own tier, and then not far below him, but below them you have, I think, Travis Kelce. I would put Zach Ertz up there now too as like a solid one.
I loved him.
Jordan Reed's a beast if he stays healthy too.
Yeah, if he stays healthy. He's just he's a hospital visit waiting to happen.
Yeah, no, he is always in it. But I mean, Gronk, I love Gronk.
Gronk he's the best.
He's just so good, man. And then we got the top three quarterbacks.
Top three quarterbacks of all time. You go first this time.
Dude, so I'd go Brady, Montana. It's the third one I'm not sure about. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I think I'd have to put Peyton at number 3.
You're gonna hate me for this, but Tom Brady doesn't even make my top 3.
You're crazy.
Montana, Elway, and Manning. Peyton
You're
Manning.
Crazy. That's coming from a Jets fan.
That's coming from a Jet fan.
Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Listen, I'm not taking any talent away from him. I don't think he's got the skill that the others do. He is just fortunate to have the greatest head coach to ever live.
I cannot wait until Brady retires so we can see Belichick without Brady, and then people can stop saying that. Belichick didn't do anything before he had Brady.
Belichick is the greatest coach ever.
I'm not going to argue that. But, yeah, he would probably be up there. But I think, I just don't think, I don't know. If Brady retires and Belichick keeps coaching, they're going to be nowhere near the skill level they were with Tom Brady. Tom Brady literally just turns useless receivers and players around him into stars, dude.
Does he or does Belichick's game plan do that?
No, Brady does, because Brady is a beast.
Or Belichick's game plan turns people into amazing wide receivers.
It's not even that, because Belichick's not even going to be calling all the offense. So you can't even say that Belichick's game plan is turning Brady into it, because you have the Josh McDaniels, I think, is their offensive coordinator. I mean, he's the one that's actually making the play calls.
Yeah, but it's still Belichick's team over. Has that final. Belichick is the one with the scheme. Belichick's the one has the overall.
Belichick finally got too cute and tried to be too above everyone else, and when he benched Malcolm Butler, it cost him the Super Bowl.
Thank God. I still think you guys would have won, regardless of Butler being in or not.
It would have been closer. I don't know. It would have been close, but I don't know.
I don't think that
Belichick
costed you the Super Bowl.
Brady without. We'll never see Brady without Belichick, but I can't wait to see Belichick without Brady.
I can't wait for them to retire.
And you're gonna see that Belichick without Tom freaking Brady, the best quarterback of all time, is not as good as everyone says he is.
So, if you're now fantasy draft wise speaking,
first pick
overall, you have the number one pick.
Zeke.
You're going with Zeke.
Yeah,
I'm going with Bell.
I would take Zeke. Especially from fantasy standpoint. The Steelers situation with Bell scares me because the whole contract dispute.
You know what? I would like to cheat. I would go Zeke.
Zeke's gonna eat. Dude.
I would go Zeke.
You know Zeke is like he's young, dude. He has fresh legs coming off the suspension. He's gonna get 20 plus a game. And the thing with the Cowboys is they will literally, if they're in the reds, like the 5-yard line, they will run him the ball
Zeke
3 times in a row.
Yeah, fantasy wise, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna change it. I still think Bell's the better running back overall, but for fantasy wise points, yeah, Zeke. Zeke's definitely number one.
And I would probably go Zeke.
Zeke, then
I would go Bell, then Gurley.
Yeah, Bell then Gurley, then probably AB would be the fourth pick. AB or Beckham, depending on who you like more.
Beckham's going pretty kind of like lower than I thought this year. I've seen him going in some mock drafts as like low as like 11.
Really?
Even in the second round, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you got a lot of studs up there, and you have Barkley. A lot of drafts are picking Barkley over Beckham.
You see, I love Kamara. However, do I think he's going to have the season he had?
I wouldn't pick up Kamara in the first round.
No, Kamara has not. If he does it again, then next year maybe Kamara could be a first rounder. But I think Kamara would be a nice second rounder, and if you can get him in the third round, oof, that's a steal. But
yeah, man, I think he's good.
You gotta hope that snakes around, and you have an early third round pick to get Kamara in the third round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for 100% not taking him over any of the running backs we already named.
No, absolutely not. I think last year my first pick was DeMarco Murray. It was DeMarco Murray, and that was the worst thing. And it snaked around, and I got McCoy. McCoy was a beast until he started beating his wife. But
I picked Aaron Rodgers, and he broke his collarbone.
Quarterback wise, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is definitely the best, I think.
There's the only if Wentz was healthy, I'd argue that, and the only other person. Again, the issue is like Brady's getting so old, so like I don't.
But Brady doesn't. Aaron Rodgers will get you running points.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying from like a quarterback standpoint, still, Tom Brady, like he's still a beast, and I'm not going to doubt him. But I think I would pick the next person I would probably pick over him would be Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's a great fantasy player. Yeah,
because he gets you points on the run. Quarterbacks who can do that. Running points are more than passing points.
Which you kind of bring up is it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Aaron Rodgers once he loses his mobility as a quarterback, because that's what makes Brady so good and so long lasting is he's never had to rely on his legs.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, his whole thing is just getting enough speed to loop out of the pocket and just throw a crazy pass. So we'll see how his game ages, which I don't think it'll be. He's not going to be like terrible. I mean, he's still a beast, but definitely going to be different when you don't have to worry about him running away and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be so interesting. Like every draft's always different, so it's so difficult to be like, oh, I'm gonna get this person here and all this stuff because everyone drafts so funky.
So I think the most valuable player to pick up is a running back. They definitely give you the most points in my eyes.
If you can get a Zeke, if you get Zeke, Gurley, Bell, or Brown, and debatably Beckham. I would. I mean, I'm big on getting quarterbacks early, man. Like if I can get Aaron Rodgers in the first round, I'm gonna pull the trigger because it's a nice thing going in every week, not having to worry about who your quarterback's playing, and Aaron Rodgers is getting you 20 plus a week, so you never have to worry about that. And he has the potential to just go absolutely insane. That's the thing I love about him. So that's why I would argue possibly depending where you're picking in the first round. Like if you're kind of like later round, I think Rodgers isn't a bad pickup. And I know a lot of people are all like they
running
hate
back
going
first,
yeah, like
I don't usually pick a quarterback
first
until like the 4th round.
Again, you're not getting the thing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a different breed in quarterback stats in fantasy, and especially I think coming after this injury and a healthy season coming up, I think he's gonna be solid. I would take again Zeke, Gurley, and Bell are 3 players I wouldn't even have to think about like picking up. I would grab them instantly.
No AB?
No, because I would rather in my. It all depends kind of who's available because if I've I don't know, because personally I think Beckham could be just as good as AB.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
you also gotta think you got Eli Manning throwing to Beckham.
And yeah, no. But now that you have Barkley out of the backfield, it's gonna help. The thing with receivers is you can pick up like a wide receiver 2 and he'd still be consistent for you. The issue is like a wide receiver 2, even a wide receiver 3 on football teams, they're gonna get thrown out, they're gonna get the ball. It's not like you're picking up a backup running back.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, like there's 32 running backs that you can pick in the league, and I mean arguably even less because some of them are
split
duds
and
split time. But receiver wise, I mean, you can easily pick up like a wide receiver too. Like I know like a big guy I used to love was like Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, at one point he was like the 3rd wide receiver on the Broncos, and he was still getting me a touchdown a game plus yardage.
Yeah, that's why. Listen, for this year, I think Decker is going to be a big sleeper that you can pick up
with Brady.
With Brady now,
yeah,
absolutely. Decker is going to be a 5th round, 6th round sleeper that you're going to get, and he's going to be able to just produce for you with Brady throwing to him. Yeah,
I know Jets side like Robbie Anderson was
Robbie Anderson was
but he was
good.
A beast.
He was averaging like 15 points for me a week.
Yeah, until McCown went down, and now with McCown there, dude, I think I know Robbie Anderson had some issues in like the off season.
He's a head case, man.
Some laws stuff, but if he's still on that team, dude, I think he could be like a solid late pick.
Yeah, he's pretty good. It all depends though who's our quarterback. I mean, people say McCown's gonna start. People say that they're just gonna give Darnold the shot, and then people saying what's his face is gonna start, who we signed, who I can't think of the name now offhand. The Vikings' old quarterback,
Bridgewater,
thank you. They say the Jets signed Bridgewater for 1 year. For what? You drafted Darnold, and you re-signed McCown. You just wasted cap space on Bridgewater. But that's just me.
Yeah,
my team's a mess.
Oh no, the issue is like McCown. Like I love McCown, dude. He gives it his all. And...
McCown's a mentor. If
exactly.
I'm running
good
the team,
having him on the team.
If I'm running the team right now, I don't sign Bridgewater. I have McCown as the backup, and I'm starting the kid. You're going into this season not making the playoffs with the team that we have. So give the kid a shot, see what he can do, and have McCown mentor him. Let him get molded into a quarterback. I mean, the Jets have signed how many first-round quarterbacks in the past year? A few years. They're all duds. I mean, Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith. They're all shit.
That's why, as long as Wentz can come back healthy, Eagles are set at quarterback for the next 10 years.
The quarterback for the Jets is the missing piece right now.
I mean, Bridgewater
our defense is young. Our defense is young. It'll grow. Jamal Adams. Oh, I love that guy.
So, what do you think the Jets are going to go this season?
I think I looked at the schedule. I think I said maybe 4-12.
Okay. I think the Eagles. I think we go no less than 11-5.
Oh,
I think I'm thinking 12.
You're lowballing it.
I'm thinking 12-4 is my.
13.
That's why I'm saying no less than 11-5. I think 12. We do have a pretty tough schedule this year, but I think 12, as bearing injuries, I think 12-4 is kind of ideal for us.
I think you guys win the division again.
think the NFC East is gonna be a great division.
Oh, it's gonna be other than the Redskins, it's gonna be a shootout.
Even the Redskins, man, like they always like
they have Smith now.
Yeah, the thing with the Redskins though, and even Smith's like a decent player, is like the Redskins one week look like, and this is kind of like the other team I was talking about the other day, the Bengals. Like those two teams, like one week they're playing and they look like they could beat, and this was more specifically with Cousins. We'll see how it does with Smith. But like one week they could look like they could beat any team, and then the next they look like they're the worst team in the league.
There's no consistency.
But the Cowboys are going to be a stud. I think the NFC East
the Giants finished third.
I think the NFC East definitely has the potential to grab 3 teams in the playoffs, with 2 of wild cards coming from us, I think.
I personally think that the Giants don't make the playoffs again. I think it's going to be... it's going to be the Eagles winning the division and the Cowboys with the wild card. And I think that the Giants are going to have a positive record, but they're going to go like a 9-7 type of thing and miss the wild card.
So who do you think... All right, this could be the last thing we talk about. Who do you think is going to be like the playoff picture? Like 1 through... All right, so I think NFC-wise...
Let me just pull up everything right now. Let me see.
Yeah, that's what I did too. All right, let's do the AFC first. So I think the first team you got is the Patriots. I think the second team you got is the Steelers. I would say the third team would probably be the Texans. We should actually, I'm gonna write this down. All right.
Hey,
I'm gonna notepad this, and I'm gonna see what our predictions are like.
So you go first, and I'll let you know.
All right, let me write this down really quick. All right, so in order: Patriots at 1, Steelers at 2, Texans at 3. Ooh. I'll put the Chargers at 4. Which I think the Chargers can be even a little bit hot.
You think the Chargers win the West?
Yeah, I think the Chargers are gonna go. I think the Chargers, this is their year.
Okay.
As for the... Oh, wait. I'm gonna put the Jags... I'm gonna put the Jags as a wild card for sure, because they could have potentially... But I think if Watson's healthy, I think the Texans take the division from them. And then... who would be the 6th wild? Like the 6th... I'm gonna give it to the Ravens, dude. I think the Ravens are gonna have a good year. So you're looking at, in my order, from 1 through 6, I got the Patriots, the Steelers, the Texans, the Chargers, the Jags, and the Ravens.
Okay. So it's I'll do the AFC now. You're gonna go number 1, the Steelers.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right, you're good.
Number 1 is the Steelers. Number 2 will be the Patriots.
Okay.
Number 3, I would give to Jacksonville.
All right.
And 4, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think they come back.
Okay, yeah, the Gruden pickup, I can see it.
All right, and now for the wild card, I'm gonna go Texans at 5, and I say the Bills come back as a 6th seed.
All right.
I say the Bills do it again.
So we got you and me each have. So we have 2 different teams. So I have the Ravens and Chargers, and you have the you have the Ravens and the Chargers. You have the Raiders and the Bills. All right.
NFC.
All right. So let me see my NFC. Or you can go.
I can go first, or
nah, you got it.
I got it. All right. I think the Eagles are gonna go number 1.
All right.
Number 2, I say Aaron Rodgers takes it. So the Packers. So Eagles and Packers 1 and 2. I say the Falcons go number 3, and the 49ers win the division.
Okay.
The 49ers will be 4.
Over the Rams?
Yep. I'm the 49ers are going to be a surprise team. I have a feeling. I'm calling it. They were hot. They didn't lose a single game in the end. Like, what did they go on? Like
6-0 with Garoppolo.
Garoppolo. I think the 49ers take that division. So
this is going to be a tough wild card selection.
So for the wild card, then...
Dude, there are a lot of teams I go
with the Rams for the wild card as number 5. And no, the Rams will be number 6. I think the Cowboys will be 5.
All right. Yeah, dude, there's so many teams.
There's so many good teams, though, in the NFC.
All right, dude. Let me see.
That is gonna be over because you also have the Saints I didn't put in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna put my birds, man. I'm gonna just ride my squad. I'll put them number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm putting the Vikes at number 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Saints at number. I'm gonna go Saints. No, I'm gonna go Rams 3. Saints. Do I want to go Saints?
You think the Saints beat the Falcons in the South?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Although I'm also debating putting the Panthers up there, man. I don't know who I want to go at. Who wins that division?
I think the Saints finish second, but not with a wild card. I think the Panthers go finish third. I'm not one on the Panthers at all.
I think Cam's gonna have a crazy good season.
Cam.
I'm going Panthers at 4 to win the division, man.
Wow. Okay.
And now the wild cards. I'm putting the boys at 5. Do I put the Giants at 6? Oh no. I put the Packers at 5 and the Cowboys at 6.
Wow. So you say the Falcons don't even make the playoffs?
No, I got the Eagles, the Vikes, the Rams, the Panthers, because I think the Falcons are gonna be a great record, but the issue is they're not gonna win the division over the Panthers, and I think the Packers and boys are gonna have a better record than the Falcons.
Oof.
Damn, so this is gonna be interesting coming the season, man. I got the pad saved.
Yeah.
And we'll see who has the most ones.
You come to realize how many good teams are on the NFC.
Yeah, the NFC really is. I mean, you could
stacked.
argue, you could literally. So let me see. The NFC East team, I would say you'd have a legitimate argument for 2 of them making playoffs, and the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the NFC North team, you have the Packers and the Vikings up there in argument. The NFC South, dude, the Panthers, the Falcons, and Saints, in my opinion, all have an argument there. And I would say the Rams and potentially the Niners, depending how Garoppolo does.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about Garoppolo. I think the Niners are going to be an unexpected team that you didn't think about, and they're gonna take that division for a run.
No, don't get me wrong. I think Garoppolo's a beast, and I just think the Rams are a little, with all everything they've gotten, I think the Rams are gonna be a little bit too much.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Damn. So yeah, but I mean, this could be the last. Do we want to?
I think we close out episode 2.
I think episode 3 we can go through the entire we can go through the first week NFC schedule.
Yeah.
Or NFL schedule. And what we're gonna do for anyone listening, if there is anyone listening, or if me and my man are just talking, having a good time with each other, regardless, we're gonna put some money into it this year. We're gonna have an exposed little right. I mean, I'm definitely doing it. I'm down.
Yep.
We're gonna do a little exposed guessing. I'm gonna set up the Excel sheet and everything, and that'll yeah, I'm excited, dude. That'll be. Ooh, the Jets got a Monday nighter, bro.
Ooh.
Is it home?
That's a mistake. Who's watching that?
We should go to a game, bro.
Let's go.
Let me check these tickets.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see Jets Eagles, man. We'll
I think
tailgate.
they have a preseason.
Yeah, there's always a preseason.
I'd go, dude. You could literally come to my crib and we could go to the game.
Absolutely.
Hold on, let me check this out really quick. Maybe we can invite all our fans out with us.
Expose outing. We'll be the one with the hoodies.
So you got you have the Sunday night game or the Monday night? No, it's a Monday night. I said, right?
Yeah, you said the Monday night game.
The 10th. It's at the Lions.
But to close it out, thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. At xfightinirish. X is the Twitter. XPOZED for YouTube. Give me a like on Facebook. I'm on there as well. Everything I post on YouTube goes to Facebook and Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, same as the Twitter, at xfightinirishx. Twitch, I stream from time to time, xfightinirishx as well. Listen, come hang. I'm always down to hang with someone, play with other people. We're not one of those people that are gonna be like, don't come hang out with us. Don't. We're open arms. Well, you want to play some Fortnite with me and BurnZ? Play some Fortnite with me and BurnZ. Come on down.
Like we said, if anyone is watching, feel free to let us know what you guys want, or listening. Feel free to let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Like I said, we're coming up every Thursday. We're gonna have a podcast, or every Wednesday we're gonna start making a podcast. Have it up early Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna start doing fantasy every week. I'm excited for that. Obviously, you heard me and talk about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll have gaming here and there. I'm not sure how much gaming we'll have unless people really want to listen to it.
Yeah, no. If anything, we can make, one separate podcast for gaming, one separate podcast for the fantasy.
But yeah, man, it's exciting, boys. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think it's a wrap. Thank you guys for listening.
I'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. See you.
XPOZED out.